move us to another topic, right? It's a controversial thing that happened yesterday. Well, 2 days. Yeah, it was yesterday, right? Yeah, 2 days ago. Yesterday, LSU women's LSU basketball team captured their first national championship in school history. All right, and Angel Reese's first year there, y'all. And Kayla Clark, man, we know she a beast and all, right? But Angel Reese, she taunted her multiple times at the end of the game, and she got a lot of backlash for that. A lot of backlash. She was called classless. All right. I mean, I was doing research on it. A lot of YouTubers were killing her. I was like, dang. A lot of Caitlin Clark supporters were killing her. Right? People on Twitter killing her. They was like, man, we gotta put this into the show, man. And I'm glad he did. All right. So Dave, he said this last night too. Dave, kick us off. Talk to us.
First, first thing I want to do is I want to shout out to all women's basketball. This has been one of the most exciting college basketball tournaments I've ever watched. This was one heck of a tournament. Shout out to LSU, shout out to Iowa, shout out to all the teams that was in the Final Four, Virginia Tech, and shout out to South Carolina. That was a heck of a Final Four and a heck of a national championship game. Uh, 12 9.9 million average, 9.9 million viewers average in the show, 12.6 million total viewed it. So that's the most watched women's championship ever. So that lets you know how exciting the game is. But I want to say this. Caitlin Clark balled out, had her game, but no one had an issue when she did this against the girl when they played against the Louisville Cardinals. When she did this to her and told the girl, shut up, you're down 15, nobody said nothing about her. Now, to me, that's taunting, isn't it? That's what you could call disrespectful, I guess.
It's actually worse.
But exactly, it's a lot worse. So, but what did they say about her? Nothing. They just said it was just trash talk.
It's her competitive nature.
Her competitive nature, Mamba mentality.
Hmm.
This another thing. People got to stop throwing this Mamba mentality thing out there. All right. No, the Mamba mentality was for Mamba. Okay. Kobe is the only person that has the Mamba mentality, and I guess you can say he adapted that from Jordan. No one else has that mentality except for those two players. No one else was there. How many players you know now here that they're up while everyone else is out partying, that they're in the gym working out?
Sure ain't Melo. My bad.
It ain't LeBron either.
My bad.
LeBron, look, they showed times when LeBron was at the club. Lil Wayne and them was there. They showed all of that. When they lost the series against the Mavericks, who was in the club with Lil Wayne and them? LeBron, Wade, all of them was in there. So even the players I respect and I love, none of them had that Mamba mentality. So let's stop throwing that around. Please, let's stop throwing that around. But Angel Reese wasn't wrong for nothing that she did. All she did was the same thing that Caitlin Clark did to the girl in Louisville. You can't see me, and I got that ring. That ring you thought you was gonna get, I got it. And if you look at that game, LSU pretty much won that game by 20.
Did they think?
Now, Caitlin Clark set an NCAA record for most points scored in NCAA history. But so did Angel Reese. She set the record for most double doubles, 34 double doubles.
Mm-hmm.
So she balled out this year. Give this girl her flowers. Give LSU their flowers. She did everything she needed to do to win this game, and we all know absolutely why they call her classless. It's because of the color of her skin. They called her that because she's a young black girl out here showboating the same thing that us men do, but they don't. They say that about us. But look at all the. Let's name some white trash talkers that everybody know about. Tom Brady, trash talker. They consider him the GOAT. Phillip Rivers, trash talker. Phillip Rivers, trash talker. They don't say nothing about him. Larry Bird, trash talker. They talk about him all the time. Do they get criticized for being trash talkers?
Nope.
No. But who does? Players like Russell Westbrook,
Dylan Brooks, Draymond Green. The list goes on and on.
We can keep going. We can name players Patrick Beverly. All these players get criticized for that because of what? Because of where they grew up from, how they raised, and the way that they act. But it's just a part of the game. It's a part of the game. Don't look. It hurts when the rabbit got the gun. Hey, that's just how it goes, man. Shout out to Angel Reese. Shout out to LSU. You did everything that you needed to do. And she from B-More, so what you expect?
What you wanted to do?
Yeah.
I loved every moment of that.
So I agree. I agree with you, like with Angel Reese. What she did, I agree everything you said. Now before I get into that, all right, I think that the reason why people get on Westbrook is because I don't think it's because of his skin. I think it's because his accountability issues. I think he talk a lot of trash, but he never come out and say like, "Oh, I need to be better." That's one thing. And who else he said? Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks gets. I don't think it's not because he trash talk. People think he's a dirty player. Same thing with Grayson Allen, who's a white American, and he had some dirty moves, and people felt the same way about him. They think he's a dirty player. Now, but I do agree with you. I get your premise where you're coming from, though. So, like, because Jordan talked trash, nobody mad at that. Kobe talked trash, told Shan Bettier in his face. It's just with this particular situation, it's wrong because, like you said, not only Dave, she did it to that girl. I mean, we just saw against South Carolina. She was like this. Go ahead and shoot it. Like that's disrespectful.
Wave the girl off. Was like, no, go ahead, no, go ahead. And and after that, the girl started knocking down shots after that.
Now look, I don't have a problem with it, but it gotta go both ways. You feel me? You can't be one way with this girl and the other way. You know what I mean? So and for real, what Angel Reese did, bro, is good for basketball. What it did was it brought attention to the game, right? Trash. That's what trash talk does. Competition. She had it herself. I grew up in Baltimore. That's what we did. We taught trash. All right. So I'm not mad at her at all. Guess what, y'all? Look, I know this is obvious. It's like a duh moment, but it's sad. When you Google the word ghetto girl, guess what race pops up the most? Black, right?
Black.
Oh,
when you Google the word beautiful, guess which race pops up the most?
White.
Crazy, right? So that's the stigma it is in this world. It's like that. That's the view of the world. Like black girls are ghetto, and white American females are not ghetto. Now we know there are some ghetto white females, right? And there are some non-ghetto black females. But that's the view of the world. All right.
That's the narrative that they want to carry out.
Narrative. LSU rapping, they rapping in press conferences and stuff like that, right? That's ghetto, right? They talk with slang, that's ghetto, right? And they got swag, you feel me? And swag, sorry to say, but in people's views, is ghetto, So I'm glad that this happened on the national stage. I'm glad this happened in the championship, and she won. That's why I'm happy that she won the game. And she got a chance to address it in a press conference. And I'm glad she said what she said. And another reason why she did that, because of the disrespect they did to that girl in South Carolina when they was waving her off. That's another reason why she did that. So I agree with you 100%. Now, obviously, us three, we have nothing against white Americans, obviously, right? But we're just pointing out the mistakes the world are making when they are criticizing one thing when the girl did it first. Like, come on. So Tom will talk to us.
So I'm glad you said that, Joe. I'm glad you said that as well, Dave. Because one, she's selling tickets. Now everybody's tuned into women's basketball. Two, if the person that got taunted didn't care, why in the world did the rest of the world come out here and try to defend her? She literally got up there and said, like, oh, I was just like trying to go to the handshake line. I was too sad I lost. One. So look. Again, we want to give their congratulations to everybody in the tournament, especially the Final Four, down to the championship. Like I said, they was calling that girl Caitlin Curry on Twitter. She was going off. Like she was doing her thing. But at the end of the day, man, when you come up here for these crab cakes, it get ugly. Then you go down to the bayou, you get you some gumbo in your system, and you just that dog mentality, and it came out. So look, there's one more thing I think a lot of people, I mean, this whole weekend with this tournament has had its moments. And I'm going to play a clip from like Don Staley because that was another moment that happened too.
Coaches, your colleagues have sitting in that spot and talked about you all being bullies. What's the truth about your team?
The truth about our team, okay? It's a good question, okay? We're not bar fighters. We're not thugs. We're not monkeys. We're not street fighters. This team exemplifies how you need to approach basketball on the court and off the court. And I do think that that's sometimes brought into the game. And it hurts. Okay? And I do think that some of I'm gonna say it because I said I was gonna say it, whether we lost or whether we won. Some of the people in the media, when you're gathering in public, you're saying things about our team and you're being heard.
That's one. That's one, right? That's crazy that literally happened 48 hours before. After the loss to what team? Iowa. When the girl, Caitlin Curry, she did her thing, waving people off. Fast forward, got one more clip for you. Then we got our girl, she come out.
I was critiqued about who I was. The narrative, I don't fit the narrative. I don't fit in the box that y'all want me to be in. I'm too hood, I'm too ghetto. Y'all told me that all year. But when other people do it, y'all don't say nothing. So this was for the girls that look like me, that's gonna speak up on what they believe in. It's unapologetically you. And that's what I did it for tonight. This was for it was bigger than me tonight. It was bigger than me. Twitter is gonna go in a rage every time. And I mean, I'm happy. I feel like I've helped grow women's basketball this year. I'm super happy and excited. So I'm looking forward to celebrating in the next season.
Now, when I was going through both clips, right? And I was like, it literally sounds like the same exact press conference. But this time it's a player. I mean, the world gonna rear its ugly heads when we win. And like the good song says, it's cool when they do it, but it's a problem when we do it. So I'm happy they won. I'm happy she got up there and she spoke her truth. And every time somebody asks about it, she answered it clearly. Look, she did this to my SEC sister, so I had to get her back for it. Don't be mad at me. And I'm gonna be loud and proud all next season. And if we win, lose, or draw, I'm gonna still be the same person because they bringing up clips from when she was in Maryland, telling people you're not built like that, you're not cut like that. So it's clearly just in her. So don't get mad. And I love what Don Staley said too. Stop calling my team these names in public, thinking we won't hear about it. But then when it's time for us to get on here and you want to ask us questions and we want to talk to you rudely, I mean, you're gonna get what you get. And again, that's why I'm glad you did create this show, Joe, because now it gives us the platform to show us that, like, look, the media can be a-holes sometimes, but there are actual people that are in media that want to do the right thing. And I think that's what we're doing here. So I appreciate it. Shout out to LSU. I wish the Lady Terps would have got there, but hey, that's just fandom in me. Shout out to LSU, man. Y'all did that.
Also, she transferred from Maryland, by the way.
I know. It still hurts. You didn't have to say that.
Hey, Kev, you are absolutely right about this. This is it's all over again. Even though you spelled her first name wrong, we know who you're talking about. We know who you're talking about. But yes, that is absolutely the same exact thing. They said that about Sha'Carri Richardson because she was running fast and she had the long nails and stuff like that. People don't know that that's been going on, and that's been going on in our entire culture since we started. That's a part of our culture. That's not something that we just started doing. That's something that's always been a part of our culture. So if you don't respect our culture, don't try to adapt our culture. That's all I gotta say.
And all that we said, y'all, they praised the mess out. Like she took it took it to the chin, like you said, Tomo. Yeah. You know, Caitlin took it to the chin, and then everybody in LSU praised the mess out of her. It was like ain't nothing personal with you. We just, it's not for you. It's for everybody else, for real. Basically, So like the girl got on the podium, she said, "Don't disrespect us. You're a great player, disrespect us." And then she doubled down in the press conference. Hey, she a first round draft pick. She this and that. Well, they praise a mess out of her. They respect her as a player at the end of the day. So like you said, Tom, bro, why would we talk about it if she ain't even mad? Right? So
because I seen Twitter going crazy, and I'm like, but where's the girl? I was like, where's her post game? So soon as she got up there, she was like, I mean, I was going to the line. I was like, so why are y'all mad? But I know why they mad. Because we make things look so easy. We do it so effortlessly. Like, imagine if you can, imagine you wake up and can just run a whole, like Deion Sanders. Just walk to the draft and you run a 40. I'd be mad too. Like, I've been working for 6 months and you just walked up here and did this.
That's how it be sometimes.
man. Hey, great job, David. Good job, man, for putting this in there. We needed that.